Hi, this is Errol Fox, and welcome to this visioning exercise. We're going to break this into two parts. The first part here will be an introduction, so we can get the background of visioning, and the second part will be the actual visioning process. Now, before we begin, it's always great to begin any process, anything we do, by clearly setting an intention. Now, intention is a very powerful word because intention is about how you want to experience something, not just a goal, which is an end picture, but how you want to participate. What do you want to experience out of something? So my intention for you is that you really get to reconnect with visioning, open your heart, and fall in love with visioning on a regular basis. Now it's your turn, and I really want you to do this. Take a moment to think about your own intention here. What do you want to experience from visioning? How do you want to experience visioning? Really, take out a piece of paper and a pen for this visioning exercise, and let's start with your intention. You can stop the recording now and actually write that down. Make sure you do this because it can really ensure that you get what you're looking for when you know what you're looking for. Let's start with why this is called a visioning exercise. I think exercise is the perfect word for this because exercise is something that we know is good for us. Exercise keeps us healthy, energetic, helps us really enjoy life, and yet we may not be exercising. Exercise can be something that's difficult, especially something that's difficult to start. Visioning is like that for many people. We might want to start with why that is, as it can be good to clear away any obstacles to us wanting to do exercise. I think there's three places that can keep us out of exercise. The first area where we may not be exercising or doing an exercise is because we just didn't model it. I think one of the tragedies that can happen from parenting, because parents are typically fairly young when they have us, they're very busy, they're trying to get through life. They often didn't vision, they didn't dream, or we didn't know what they were. They probably didn't have a vision board. They may not have ever talked about dreaming or taking time to dream, so we just didn't grow up modeling it. So the exercise of visioning or taking time to vision just seems very foreign. It's not something that our family does. This can be the first place that we want to just clear away and realize, maybe I didn't model it. There's nothing weird about visioning. And visioning is a good thing. I just didn't see it growing up. Second area where we may not be doing an exercise, especially visioning, is because of our expectations. Especially as adults, our expectations tend to rise. And we have a lot of expectations for perfection. We may expect that we do things perfectly, that people around us do things perfectly, my children. We have a lot of expectations. And one expectation specifically for visualizing is people may say, well, I can't visualize. I don't see pictures. This is something that we can drop with a little exercise right now. Take a moment to think about, what does the front door of your house look like? That's right. What does it look like? What color is it? Is the door handle on the right or the left? How about your car? Do you have a car? What color is your car? How do you pick your car out when there's a bunch of cars of different colors next to your car in a parking lot? Because you make a picture inside. It's just so fast. Your mind is so incredibly fast with pictures. Most of us don't realize that we are making pictures. Other than when you're dreaming at night, those pictures seem so vivid, so real, they might even scare you. They feel like it's actually what's happening until you open your eyes and you realize that you were just dreaming. So you are making pictures. They're just not as vivid and colorful as you may expect them to be, simply because that would be distracting. If we knew and saw and looked at our pictures all the time while we were walking around, it would just be distracting. So that's the second place to clear and just let go, is any expectation, any thoughts that this is difficult, or any expectation of needing to do it perfectly, and just take a shot. That's how we exercise, is we just dive in move our muscles and get started because we intend to return back to do this again and again. You may have heard the saying from Zen that how you do anything is how you do everything. This is a great example of that. In exercise, we start out, we may be clumsy, we let go of the expectation, and we just get in there, and through practice, the muscle gets stronger, the movement gets more fluid, the body learns until it just becomes automatic. And that's the same thing with your visioning muscle. The more you exercise and just get in there, the stronger it gets, the smoother it gets, the more automatic it gets. The third area, I think, is a very big one. Again, as adults, as we get older, we may not be exercising because there's pain associated with it. Maybe if we take physical exercise, maybe we didn't like PE class, or it felt awkward, or we were awkward with our body. Maybe some people got teased in PE class and actually had pain. They tried exercise and they had pain with it. This could happen with visioning. Visioning is a natural thing to do, is to see a vision. We had many visions or dreams when we're little, and there may have been some pain because, again, we had an expectation. Let's say I wanted a pony, and I really just wanted a pony, I wanted a horse, I wanted to ride. I had this vision that I wanted to be a horseback rider. But it couldn't happen for some reason, maybe finances or something like that. Or just something as simple as my parents said, well, how are you going to do that? How are we going to afford it? And being little, we didn't have the resources. We didn't know how, and maybe we stopped. I know for myself, a specific place I had pain growing up around visioning, having visions, or dreaming was I would continually get in trouble in class and school for daydreaming. Now, the teachers have a good intention. They want us to pay attention and get good grades so we can move on and get a job. If I was dreaming, that was a distraction to the class and the teacher. So maybe after parents, we get in school and we learn it's not good to dream in general. Or maybe we were taught that dreaming is for children. So we can notice there if we have any pain or association or judgment just about the word visioning, having a vision, having a dream, in some negative way, that it seems childish or something like that. And again, just have awareness and let that go if that comes up during visioning. Any judgment about visioning. Now, finally, a pain that's associated with visioning. As we get older and older, we may find that we have a vision. Maybe we did stick with a vision. We even worked on it, and it didn't work out. Let's say we had a relationship. I had one of those. You may have had relationships that didn't work out, or we had a vision and we thought, wow, I really want to be with someone special. I want to create this wonderful life, have children and so forth, and maybe fall in love. You really open your heart in that vision. And as relationships go, as many things in life, sometimes they don't work out exactly how we planned. Maybe we chose a partner for the wrong reason. Somewhere along the line, maybe we had a vision, opened our heart, and then our heart closed because it didn't work out perfectly. Or maybe other places, maybe a career someone had. Somewhere where we had a heart vision, our heart opened wide, we saw this vision of something we wanted to do, and for some reason it couldn't work out. This is an area of pain that we can clear and let go when we remember that if we're attached to a vision being a specific way, we're kind of setting ourselves up in the first place, not realizing that the vision opens our heart in a direction. And if we didn't get it, there may have been a much more important thing we got out of it. For example, again, let's say a relationship. I can think of one that I was enthused. I had my heart open. I had a vision of how it could be. I worked on it, even struggled with it, and just couldn't work. We just weren't right for each other. And my heart closed, and we think, I'm not going to have that vision open my heart again. But then many years go by, and I can realize the purpose of that vision and being with this person wasn't to do what I wanted, but to learn about relationship. Maybe there was a little pain from the vision, but that pain woke me up. So this is a place that we can take time to think back about any dream or vision you had in the past, maybe recently or back further, and you can actually stop and catalog those and think of each one where you had a vision, you had a dream, you opened your heart to it, you may have even worked on it, and it didn't work out. Take a moment to decide, what did I really get out of it? What did I really learn? What was actually beautiful about not doing it? Maybe you didn't get that job or that career, but you went in a better direction. This is one great place for us to clear and take some time. I want to encourage you right now to do this work, to take a piece of paper and a pen out and list each dream you've had going back in time, maybe since you were little, that didn't work out. And next to that vision or dream that you had, right next to it, what you got instead that was even better. So that you can realize the vision got you started, it put you in a direction. And maybe that's all the vision was for, and often all the vision is for is to give us a direction so we can get what will really fulfill and open our hearts and teach us about love. This is one of those exercises in exploring our emotional attachment, how we want something to be a certain way and we get very agitated and connected and hooked if it doesn't go exactly how we want it. And through this process, we can have the intention that we would look back literally on our life and see that visioning is really an awesome process that pulls us forward and always has something for us to gain in it. There's always something to gain if we just pay attention and let go of our attachment to how things look. So I really want you to do that process now. Let's not be lazy and think I'll do it later. Stop the recording right now, do that exercise. And you can also contact me if you'd like to work on some of these and let some of these go specifically. So we just wanted to take that time to be honest that if I'm not diving into visioning each day, if I'm not allowing my heart to open and catch a vision of what I want to create in my life, there may just be some pain associated with it. And just awareness of that and letting that go can have us just dive back into the exercise again. Where you can really use this awareness, practically speaking, is during the visioning process, the actual exercise itself. Notice when I'm asking a question, when you're visioning, notice if you feel any tension in your body. Notice if you notice any stress. And be able to just take in a deep breath and let that go. If you feel some stress, is it the desire to get it perfect? We're thinking that we're not visualizing enough or we're not getting the perfect thing. Is it just that it feels uncomfortable and awkward because we haven't been doing it and we didn't grow up or hang out with people that are doing it? Or maybe there's a little bit of fear arises, and that fear about if I get my hopes up, I don't want to do this again, because our mind is continually trying to protect us, trying to continually protect us from harm. And we can realize that opening our heart to vision is one of the most joyful things we can do. It's where our creation comes from. It's where we created a nothing. And it's what gives us a direction when we don't have direction, so that we create into a vision rather than haphazardly reacting to life. Now that we have awareness about clearing away blocks that we may have to visioning, let's talk about visioning specifically. We often hear about visualizing, and now we're talking about visioning, and what might be the difference there? Now, visualizing is an excellent skill. And what I would call visualizing is what, let's say, a great athlete would do. Visualizing is about, I know an outcome I want to achieve. Maybe I must achieve it. Maybe if I'm an athlete, there's a specific way I want to do my routine. There's a specific outcome to it. I want my body to perform in that way. Olympic athletes have been visualizing since at least the 1980s, each step along the way. We make a movie or a picture of how we want things to come out, and we see that, and we're training our body and mind to do that. Visualization like that is a wonderful process, and I highly recommend it when you know a specific outcome and you want to train your mind and body to act upon that. What we're going to do is visioning. What's different about that? When visualization we can think of is from myself, especially from my mind, outward, I'm making it happen. That's a specific kind of energy. Visioning, having a vision, is more about, rather than putting it out from me, causing it to happen, making it happen, a vision is more we can think of as catching something. It's being open to catch a vision. That's what visioning would be, is being in the space where literally we could call it a heart vision, in that the front of your body literally is open. Notice that just right now. Taking a deep breath and exhale and breathe into your belly. Exhale from your belly. Allow the front of your body to soften. We tend to walk around and have the front of our body very tense, almost in fight mode, fight or flight mode through most of the day. Envisioning, we have a safe space. We can relax, close our eyes if we like. We take time to let everything go, create a clearing, let go of all limitation, let go of the past, be in the present. Let the front of our body open. That's why we talk about the heart so much. The center of your body, where your heart is wide open, so you can breathe and be open to receiving and seeing what you like in your life. That gives us a distinction and understanding, so that when we're doing the process, we'll know, am I visualizing right now? Am I trying to force something to happen? Or am I visioning or catching a vision? And the reason this can be very important is visualization. When we think about our open future, visualization can tend to come from our fears. Many people have a fear of not enough money. Maybe people have a fear of not enough time. We then try to make an intellectual picture that will keep us safe, something that maybe will make comfort. Sometimes we have conditioning in the United States especially. The goal of life seems to be to retire and do nothing and never work again. Well, that kind of a desire for extreme comfort and no job, no work, can have us visualize something that would do that and make us safe to be able to do that, rather than in the visioning process opening our heart to what would really be fulfilling. And that's what we'll want to do when we get into the actual visioning exercise and process. So you can begin to imagine that now, what that will be like before we start to process. And finally, on exercise again, we don't exercise just one time, really work on it, spend 5 hours in a gym and do it once and then forget about it. And from that, imagine that we'll be happy and healthy and energetic and have a life of our dreams, exercising just one time. We exercise again and again. We learn to enjoy exercise by doing it again and again, not just before we start. So my intention for you and my hope for you is that this is just the first time you do your visioning exercise, and you make it a regular process. At least each quarter, at least once a year. I would encourage you could do it in the morning, just as you wake up, before you start rushing. Take a moment to sit upright in bed, breathe deeply, open up the front of your body, and be envisioning. What would be a fulfilling day today? What wants to happen today? You could also do it in the evening, just before you go to bed. How about having your final thoughts be the vision for your life? What would be fulfilling in your life, so that you dream about that? Let's make this visioning exercise a true exercise that becomes easy and enjoyable and something you look forward to doing the rest of your life. And I'll see you in the exercise portion, the process portion, and we'll have some fun there.